Your room is the entrance hall.
As soon as we entered our newly completed house, I was stunned by my mother-in-law's words. Next to her, my wife stood with her arms crossed, smirking. What? What do you mean?
Well, if you come inside, you'll dirty the new house, won't you?
What the heck? Besides, I'm the one who paid for this house.
Oh, don't act all high and mighty over just $200,000.
This European-style house, built to my wife and mother-in-law's tastes, had a sparkling chandelier and floral wallpaper imported from overseas. Yet, the room designated for me was a roughly 40-square-foot space next to the entrance, which would normally be used as a storage area, with just a door added. The floor was bare, simple wood.
There's a bed, so this should be enough for you, right? Once you add a desk, your dream study will be complete.
Isn't it great? Your wish has come true. Now, make sure to work hard to pay off the loan.
It was only then that I realized both my wife and mother-in-law had planned to trap me from the beginning. I met my wife Jenny 2 years ago. At the time, I was 37 and working for a foreign company. Compared to others my age, I had a higher income, but my job was so busy that I had no time to meet women. I had resigned myself to the idea of being single for the rest of life when I met Jenny through a mutual acquaintance. At our first meeting, Jenny was a very modest and cute woman, and I fell for her at first sight. She was the only daughter of a wealthy landowner, had never worked, and had been raised very carefully by her parents. The condition for marrying her was to live with her parents. As I am the second son in an ordinary family, I had no problem living with her parents. 6 months ago, we had a very luxurious wedding at a famous hotel, arranged by Jenny and her mother. Thus, our married life began. The house I moved into with her parents had a large plot of land, but the house itself was very old and had many damaged areas, with few rooms. Moreover, our bedroom was next to her parents' bedroom, so we could hear everything from the next room, which honestly made it hard to feel like we were newlyweds. At that time, Jenny and my in-laws brought up the idea of rebuilding the house.
This house is old, so Dad and Mom are thinking of rebuilding it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Why not make it a 2-family house while we're at it?
That's right.
Jenny immediately laid out some housing brochures in front of me.
We've decided to go with this contractor.
What? It's already decided? It seemed the decision to rebuild had already been made between Jenny and her parents without consulting me. As someone who wanted a private space with Jenny, I was very grateful for this.
Mom and I are thinking of making it a stylish European-style house.
I don't have any particular preferences for the exterior or interior, so I'll leave it to you, Jenny. But if possible, I'd like to have a study.
A study? Yes, you need your own room too.
Exactly. If it goes over budget, I'll give up on it. So, how are we going to handle the costs?
About that, I'd like you to contribute as well.
Of course, since it's the house we'll be living in too.
Thank you.
Jenny's happy smile made me grin as well. I was excited, thinking that once the new house was built, I wouldn't have to worry about my in-laws and we could start planning our family. But why is my room just a dirt floor space next to the entrance? This is too much. Isn't this a storage room?
No, we specifically made this room for your study.
And we made it a 2-family house. right?
We decided against the two-family house because it was too expensive.
You never told me that. Besides, we have a bedroom for us, so let me sleep there.
Ha, there's no way we have a bedroom together.
What?
The thought of sleeping with you gives me goosebumps.
I thought Jenny was joking, but she was dead serious. You've got to be kidding me.
Don't come into the house except for the bathroom and toilet.
When you use the bath, use it last. You have 5 minutes. Clean up after you're done.
Jenny and my mother-in-law then went inside the house. Left alone, I lost the will to argue back. I entered the storage shed that was supposed to be my room, sat on the bed, and was stunned, wondering how things had come to this. Wasn't the plan to build a two-family house so Jenny and I could enjoy our newlywed life in the new house? I remembered how, during construction, I had repeatedly asked to see the plans or visit the construction site, but Jenny always refused.
It's more fun to see it when it's finished, right? I want to surprise you, so please wait until it's done.
I was completely fooled by Jenny's cute smile. On top of that, when it came time to pay for the house, she said she wanted me to cover all the costs. It's fine if I pay, but didn't your father say he would contribute too?
That was the plan at first, but my dad has no income now, and we don't know what might happen in the future. So, he's worried about spending money.
That might be true, but still.
Besides, we're building on my dad's land. It's only natural that you should cover the construction costs.
Before we got married, I heard they were wealthy landowners, but in reality, all they had was a slightly larger plot of land where their house stood. Moreover, it was far from the station and not worth much. Apparently, Jenny's grandparents had considerable wealth, but her extravagant and pretentious parents, along with their daughter, had almost squandered it all. In the end, I decided to pay the $50,000 down payment and the remaining $150,000 with a 20-year loan. When they asked to put the house in my father-in-law's name, I refused because I wouldn't be able to get a loan that way.
Even if the house is in your name, it will be our shared property as a married couple. So it's mine too, right?
Now that I think about it, Jenny did say something like that. Could this have been their plan from the start? Damn, this is too much. As I was brooding, Jenny brought me dinner. At least let me eat with everyone in the living room.
Dad says he feels suffocated when you're around. There's nothing we can do about it. Just leave the tray in the hallway.
Dinner consisted of nothing but plain soup and 2 slices of bread on a tray. This is worse than prison food. I was angry, but I was also hungry, so I reluctantly dipped the bread in the soup and ate it. I still have 20 years left to pay off the loan. Do I have to spend all that time in this storage room? From the living room, I could hear the 3 of them laughing and enjoying their meal. Listening to them, I felt tears of frustration welling up. Just wait and see. I'll get my revenge. I decided. I could have left the house right then, but that wouldn't have been enough. How could I hurt my wife and in-laws the most? From that day on, I thought about it every day. 3 months passed. I was still eating my meager meals and sleeping in the storage shed, going to work during the day as if nothing was wrong. Without complaining, I repeated this routine, and Jenny and her parents seemed to think I had completely submitted to them. Eventually,
From today, I'll manage your bank account for the salary deposit.
she took my bank book and card, leaving me with only $5 a day for lunch.
You should be grateful for getting $5. If you want more money, you have to ask.
Jenny looked down at me with a nasty expression, completely different from the modest and cute woman she was before we got married.
If you don't like it, you can divorce me. In that case, leave this house to me and get out.
Recently, Jenny has been spending my money freely, living a luxurious life, and has started to gain weight noticeably. Meanwhile, I'd been losing weight. Despite this, I kept my resolve for revenge burning in my heart, so I didn't feel the hardship. The day to execute my plan was approaching. I was counting down the days.
Where are you?
One day, I received a voicemail from Jenny, sounding panicked. Checking the call log, I saw nearly 100 messages recorded since the previous day.
Answer the phone. Don't mess with me.
Her initially somewhat gentle tone grew increasingly harsh. Imagining Jenny and her parents in a panic made me feel delighted. What? Is something wrong?
Answer the phone immediately. Where are you? Come back right now. I won't forgive you.
Don't bombard me with questions all at once. I can't answer them. I've been assigned overseas, so I'm not in the US anymore.
What?
Jenny was so shocked that she was silent for a few seconds on the other end of the line. That's why I'm not coming back.
You never told me that.
Well, I didn't say it.
Where are you going?
I'm not telling you because I don't want you showing up. Oh, but you don't have any money to buy a plane ticket anyway, do you?
What?
I changed the account where my salary is deposited.
You can't do that without permission.
I heard an inarticulate scream on the other end of the line, and I had to pull the phone away from my ear.
Hey, are you listening? Change the account back right now.
No way.
We're married. You have an obligation to support me.
We're strangers now.
What?
Recently, Jenny had been waving around a divorce paper with her name already filled in, threatening me with divorce whenever she wanted. So, when no one was around, I found it. I submitted the divorce papers to the court before leaving for the US.
How could you do that?
Because you were the one who kept saying we should get divorced.
Then I'll take this house.
Sure, it's our shared property. By the way, a lawyer will be handling the divorce proceedings this afternoon, so be ready.
Oh, that's fine.
She suddenly sounded cheerful and abruptly hung up the phone. Little did she know the hell that awaited her. I was thrilled just imagining what would happen next. That night, I received a call from the lawyer informing me that Jenny had happily signed the documents, agreeing to take the house as part of the property division in the divorce. Since Jenny and her parents had been spending my salary all along, there was nothing else to divide, and the divorce proceedings were over. I was finally free from Jenny and her family. Now, as a single man, I could live freely. The company provided me with a 3-bedroom house, which was a far cry from the less than 40-square-foot storage room I had been living in. I started a relaxed and comfortable life. 3 months later, I suddenly received a call from my ex-wife, Jenny.
I got a notice that the house is being foreclosed. What's going on?
Oh, so it finally happened.
What?
If you don't pay the mortgage, foreclosure is inevitable. The house I handed over to my ex-wife was bought with a $50,000 down payment and a 20-year mortgage. I had only paid for 3 months, so naturally, Jenny was responsible for the remaining payments.
Weren't you supposed to pay for it?
Who said that? It's in your name, so of course, you have to pay.
I didn't know that.
The lawyer said he explained everything. You were probably too excited to remember.
You tricked me.
You listened to the explanation and signed the papers yourself. No one tricked you. I decided to deliver the final blow. Also, after changing the house's ownership, I heard from the lawyer that you used your father's land as collateral to refinance the loan. Jenny seemed confused and was checking with her parents, who were nearby.
They say they did something like that.
Then the land will be foreclosed too, not just the house.
No way.
I could hear my mother-in-law screaming and my father-in-law shouting on the other end of the line. They must be turning pale right about now.
Then where are we supposed to live? Help us.
We're strangers now. Why should I help you?
Then let's get back together and remarry.
What are you talking about?
I'll be a good wife. I'll even let you inside the house.
No way. Just being near you gives me goosebumps.
Don't say that. What will it take for you to forgive me?
How should I know? Goodbye. I hung up the phone abruptly and couldn't help but laugh with joy. Later, I heard from the lawyer that my ex-wife and her parents lost the house and land and were left penniless. They had to start working in some rural town, but since none of them worked seriously, they were soon fired. After that, I have no idea what happened to them. I am now entrusted with a responsible position overseas, and my days are fulfilling. On my days off, I can relax at home without any worries, and I am extremely happy. I think I'll enjoy living alone for a while.
How did you like this story? Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you